Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson. You're watching Glenda's Dragon's Den. I just want to take this moment to say how grateful I am for everyone supporting me, supporting this show, supporting my channel, and for sharing and liking. And also, just want to remind you that if you subscribe, there is no cost to that. My channel does not charge for it. So you're more than welcome to see everything over and over and over and share, share, share. With that being said, I have two wonderful people on tonight who are just phenomenal, and they're going to speak in so many truths that are going to be opening a lot of eyes. Let's just say that. Welcome, both. Tanys, Sylvain, how are you both?
Thanks.
Doing great. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Really.
Thank you.
So, go ahead, Sylvain. Just go for it.
Well, me and Tanys, we are members of the Alliance for Extraterrestrial Diplomatic Contact. It's an organization. We've been on your show a few weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Well, I was.
You
Tanys
have,
was
yes.
at that time. And the purpose of the alliance is to facilitate or make sure as quickly as possible there is an extraterrestrial diplomatic center or an embassy on Earth that is internationally accepted, so that we can have this first contact moment in a way that humanity understands, which is diplomatic missions, Vienna Convention, embassy, something that can be televised and people get, right? And the reason for that, and I explained this in the other shows, just for context for people that are just watching this one, is that we want to avoid, and our friends up there also want to avoid conflict between humans, right? At an international level, group level. So if we have an agreement that this is an embassy for ETs, it's okay, I sign a dotted line, I understand this, it's mediatized, it's announced, everybody agrees. And the Vienna Convention, by the way, that's what regulates all diplomatic interactions around the world. So it's a document of rules providing diplomatic immunity, so laws that protect ETs, because as long as you're a diplomat declared, you have diplomatic immunity. You can't be prosecuted because aliens, ETs, don't have protections of law, right? So it kind of covers all this, so that to facilitate that moment, and when the moment and everybody's surprised ETs are coming, we all know the rules and we don't create conflicts with each other. So that's what the alliance is doing. That's its job. And the alliance has two branches, if you would. One is promoting the concept, so growing the awareness, growing the network of people and organizations that want this to happen. So we currently have 2.4 million people represented by about, I think, 36 organizations that want the embassy to be that publicly want the embassy to be built, right? And the other branch is the actual diplomatic contact, the discussions behind the scenes with governments to make this happen. Because if you want a formal embassy, a nation has to declare publicly that this is an embassy for XYZ on their land. Extraterritorial land has to be set aside, a building has to be built, and all that stuff, right? So that's handled by my co-founder, Danielle Turcotte, who's doing most of these things. Now, recently, and the reason for this show, since we did a show not long ago, is because a development has occurred. And this development is finally, after many years of discussions with governments, my partner Danielle, he managed to secure trying to get the right term, a memorandum of collaboration. It's an MOU, basically, with a nation to move forward discussions, forward on a path to have the embassy built in that nation. The nation is not declared. I even don't know. I spoke with Danielle recently. I did not even ask. because me and him know that these are very sensitive discussions.
Right.
The nations, because it's a bit odd, it's politically risky. So they want to be the ones that make the declarations on their own time. They want to time it,
Right.
right? So, and we don't have any control on when this is going to happen. They'll do it. It's going to be in the news most likely, and everybody's going to know. It's like, okay, if that's the nation, they're going to be controlling the timeline of that. But it's going to be quick, we think, because now the word is out that the MOC, the Memorandum of Collaboration, is out, and we've been discussing with many nations. So the other nations that are interested, there's half a dozen of them that have strong interest demonstrated.
Mm-hmm.
They each want it to be on their land. Everybody wants to be first, right? So things should be accelerated from now. So somebody has to raise a finger, right? So we're doing this in collaboration with all the members of the alliance, right? Like all the organizations are collaborating in some way. Sometimes in media, like you, Glenda.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are moral support with and others like the International Iranian Movement, who originated the AT Embassy project and started raising funds in 1974, so a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's providing the funds and the blueprints like those that I have behind me, and also they're part of the discussions because the alliance and the movement are working really strongly together in this because we're actively building, bringing resources
Right.
to effectively on a day-to-day basis. So it's a more a higher involvement, I guess, from them with the alliance and us with them. So that's what's happening in context. It's quite exciting for everybody. So I'm glad you were on the show to talk about it. Tanys, do you have some things to add at this juncture from your perspective?
I think just, it's important for us to understand that there's so many different wheels going at the same time right now, and so I'm sure that Danielle is like spinning a whole bunch of plates, trying to keep things going. I joined the alliance. I don't know how long ago now, 3 years, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And I've done a number of different things with the alliance, and it's been a great experience. But the whole embassy project itself has been quite exciting, and I know that our Galactic Federation friends are very excited to see it happening. And it's going to come in divine time, is what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. They're breathing right now and going, what? And I'm like, just breathe. Let it sink in.
This is your audience. Yeah.
I can just just feel it that they're like, what? Wait, what was that?
Well, I mean, we have like the 3i Atlas happening all at this time as well. There's been a bunch of disclosure stuff, of course, in the States and other countries as well. So it's becoming more and more in the forefront, and really bringing forward the information and awareness is really what one of our biggest roles. I shouldn't say the biggest, obviously the embassy is the biggest, but it's one of our roles is to bring this forward and really let people know, because I think there's this fear that happens because it's unknown for most people, and we've been told only part stories and whatnot. And I've been working with the Galactic Federation for I don't know, probably my whole life, but consciously for the last 7 or 8 years. And it's people are worried about it being like the movies and all that. It's not like that. It's not like that. They're really loving, and really, one of the biggest arguments to the people being in fear of this, they have more technology. If they wanted us gone, we'd be gone.
Yes.
And we're here. So But having worked with them, they're incredibly loving. I mean, of course they're like humans. They've got,
We
one
got our
square.
bad
So,
apples.
right? Yeah,
We
yeah,
got our bad apples there.
exactly. But they're loving beings like we are. And certainly the ones that I
Yes.
work with, they're very, diplomatic in the way they come forward, and they, very much free will. There's like they have a
Mhm.
whole codex related to that, so they have like guidelines in place for engagement and all of that stuff as well, which is kind of like what we're trying to make sure that we have in place with the United Nations as well.
Right.
So
Yes, I
yeah.
know that from my experience working with them, also, it's very loving. And I'm usually one of the people that are holding other humans' hands while they're getting healing,
Yeah.
just so they
Mm.
don't get all nervous and everything. So that's my experiences. I mean, unfortunately, there are, like you said, some bad apples.
Of course, yeah.
And we can't do anything about that per se.
No, but
Well,
when you look at the
you
majority,
can.
yeah,
Yeah.
You can give them compassion, give them love,
Mhm.
even those
Yes,
that
that's true.
are on the edges, that are
Hmm.
causing problems for everybody else. There's usually a reason for that. It's
Hmm.
often unconscious, right?
Hmm.
So we,
That's right.
the alliance, we talk about and also all the members, our member organizations talk about the oneness. Like we are one
Yes,
in the universe, and the number one prevailing emotion that we talk about is love, and
exactly.
that has to be universal. You can't, say, well, this group or these individuals that are causing issues, we shouldn't love them.
No,
They are us, just like
but
everything else. Just an
sometimes
aspect.
we have to love them more because they
Yeah,
need more love.
they
well,
needed more. Exactly.
in the Dogon tribe in Africa, when somebody does something against the tribe,
Hmm.
they actually put them in a healing circle, because if
Hmm.
they're doing something, then obviously something's happened, right?
Mm.
And that's been a theory. I mean, I have a healing practice, so hurt people hurt others because
Yep.
it's what they know, right? So
Very
the
true.
more love we can give to each other, um, on Earth or not, uh,
Hmm.
the, the more the more love we get back too, because we're all connected.
We're
Very
all
true.
connected. I even wrote something about this, and in my background, as you both know, is mostly scientific. So that's my perspective. And I was writing a manuscript that followed my to follow my book that I published in 2018, Engineering Paradise, right?
Mm.
Which is a techno policy kind of book. It's not spiritual at all. It's really very practical engineering and social engineering and whatnot. And in the follow up, which I never published, but I've talked about this. I was talking about reforming the justice system, right? When we find criminals, things that people that do bad things,
Hmm.
right, or that we perceive as bad in one way or another. And I was applying some thoughts, and also like some countries have different approaches that we can look in, especially in Scandinavia at this moment. But it's like, well, we're punishing them, right? And that's kind of like the other, like punishing them to make them an example. So one is to remove them from harming others, which is a good point. Yes,
Right,
if they're
right.
still in that mindset, like don't keep them there where they are. Sometimes
Hmm.
you want to segregate them for a while. Okay, one. But also it's like to be example for others, like, don't do that because otherwise you'll be punished. Right.
Right.
That doesn't work. It doesn't work for the individual, and it doesn't work for other people, because people do what they do, like the bad things, uh, for the very different reasons. Like
Hmm.
they feel the need to do what they do, and to avoid being caught. The punishment is not really on top of their mind so much. And what I wrote about is what you were talking about, like the oh my gosh, what's the tribe name again?
The Dogon tribe.
The Dogon tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, well, it's like they're doing this in Scandinavia already. It's kind of a modern also thing, where, well, these people are hurt. They have an issues,
Hmm.
tangible, psychological. So what we should be doing to solve the problem is to heal them, segregate them, yeah,
Hmm.
right? But help them, don't punish them. help them so that they can be reintroduced, healed.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're solving a problem. And there was this beautiful story. This is from Denmark, I think, where violent crime doesn't happen very often in that country. And there was this case where there was like this horrible story where the kids were at camp on an island, like a camp,
Mm-hmm.
and it was this person came by boat, like a rowboat, with guns and killed a bunch of kids.
Mm.
Horrible story, right?
Yeah.
And they interviewed, meaning media, interviewed one of the parents. It's like, oh, what do you think about the aggressor, the person that was caught, right?
Mhm.
And this is the mentality there because they have this mentality of more healing in their society now. And the father said, I hope the assailant gets better in a
Mm.
way, which is not something you'd hear here
No,
or in North America,
No.
right?
no.
And that blew my mind. It's like, well, that's how we should be thinking of each other.
Yeah.
Yes, this was tragic.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely, tragic event, which could be prevented. But the man that had mental issues, he had issues. He was sick.
Mm.
Don't punish sick people.
Right.
Heal them, right?
Yeah.
So I think, and this brings me to a point which I was thinking earlier on. So I'm kind of diverging into the right a good mind space. Is like when in this whole process leading to first contact.
Yeah.
The embassy itself is a small thing. It's a symbol, and
Mm-hmm.
symbols are important.
Yeah.
But it's a small thing. It's not a lot of money. It's one building in one country. And there's a lot of effort to make that happen the way we want it to happen. Sure. So people will see the symbol,
Right.
granted. So that's fine. Symbols have a place. But for the embassy to be built, or for our ET friends to be even interested in making first contact, there's a massive amount of work that is happening by other organizations that we don't see
Mm-hmm.
or harder to see. That's where all the work is happening. The network under the alliance, the support network, and many other individuals and organizations outside of it, they're doing the hard work, preparing humanity to have the right mindset, to be peaceful, to feel at one, to be healing, to be welcoming, to be less aggressive, to advance science, but people don't feel the strain of survivalism, and so on and so on and so on. All these things are the important, and that's 99.9% of the work. The embassy is just a cherry on top. We can only build the embassy when everything else is actually ready.
Yeah.
Because then governments people won't be interested in it. They'll be scared. There's going to be all these hurdles. When we're able to build the embassy, it means politicians who are very skittish and risk averse say, it's okay for me to stick my neck out because the population will say it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're elected. It's very selfish, but it's an indicator of readiness. And then things come after that, after the symbol, and people see, oh, we're ready for it. Technically, we are ready for this. But all the work, the massive amount of work, has been going on for years, well before the alliance was ever created.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's important for the audience to understand. Things are happening in yourself, in your home, that are making this ready. The steps that we're making, the negotiation we're doing, the fundraising, the associations, that's just possible because of the work that people are doing out there.
Very
Yeah.
true. Mm-hmm.
It's true. I'm recalling as you're talking about that, one of the meetings that I got called into with the Federation. And I went and was like, I'm standing there and we're at this table, and I've got like the Pleiadians on one side and the Arcturians on the other. It was the Humanities Council. And they're like going back and forth. The Pleiadians like, we really want to go and help them. And the Arcturians are like, yeah, but you know, we got process. We got to, they were a little more serious, but we have process. You need to follow process. And then they all looked at me. They're like, are they ready? And I'm like, dudes, I'm ready. I don't know about the rest of them. Let's go, man. Anyway, I said, I followed that up with, I think you need to ask more than just me. We've got more ambassadors down there. Like, make sure you check in with everyone. I think there's a, but there is definitely more discussion around it than there ever has been. I mean, granted, I'm part of those discussions and stuff with what I'm doing and with the Alliance and that kind of thing. But I think even in the media, there's a lot more, right? There's 3i Atlas, which is bringing forward a lot of info. I know Ave Loeb has spoken at our conference both years, right? I think.
No.
Just the last
at
one?
least the last year, at least.
Yeah. I know he spoke at the one I did, and the I think that brings forward a whole lot of, you know, anytime there's talk about it, if there can be talk and it's come up with looking for shared understanding or curiosity, like those are kind of the key things that you want to bring forward, because we don't know, right? However, I mean, some of us know, but some, in general, the unknown people are afraid of.
Right.
So the more we can talk about it and say, no, this is my experience, like, you know, this isn't my experience is not what you're describing. Because that's certainly been a thing, I would say. And having had a number of experiences with them, that has not been they're not in that sort of violent mindset that, you know, our movies have portrayed. I had a delegation in my backyard one day. It was mantis beings, and they showed up, and I'm like, hello, and we understand you are a galactic ambassador. I'm like, yeah, apparently so. I'm like, we're very tall.
Yes, they are very. Hey, you look
down at me.
I'm a short woman, so just, you know, I'm under 5 foot tall, and when they show up, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm 5'5", and they were tall, so they're like.
I feel like an ant next to them. Let's just say that.
Well, and their whole message, the reason they came was because they were like, please let everyone know that, you know, not all insecticides are nefarious. And I was like, okay, yep. Anyway, thank you. We turned around and waddled off to the back of my yard where there were five more there. So it was, that was an interesting one. But that just shows, you know, they are trying to prepare people. And they know that I do a lot of speaking about it. So, you know, I was an option for them to come talk to. So it's an interesting, and they've helped me immensely in terms of, you know, healing work and stuff. One of my first interactions with them was a healing that they did, and I hadn't consciously seen one before, and I had a pain in my breast, and I had mammogram scheduled and everything. The one night I woke up in the middle of the night feeling like I had like a vacuum on my breast, and I woke up and there was this ET standing beside me, and I'm like, and all of a sudden I went back to sleep, and he looked shocked. I was shocked, but I went right back to sleep. So he must have put me back to sleep because, right. You know, when we're in fight or flight, you're not going back to sleep.
No.
But I never had pain there again after that night, and there was nothing on the MRI. So that was one of my first experiences with them. So it's been a beautiful way to get to know them, and that's part of why I work with the Alliance, because what a great way to marry the two and bring information through. And there's a whole lot of us, you know, connecting with the Federation right now. There's many councils, and so we each have like our sort of roles on the different councils and all of that stuff. And so it's fascinating. Actually, one of the initiatives we want to work on is bringing forward a bunch of us that speak to the Federation and getting us all together in one Zoom, and having conversations about it and see sort of what's everybody getting in terms of like take the temperature of where we're all at, because we work on all different councils.
Yes.
So, we're going to have access to different information. And so that's another initiative that we want to work with the Alliance, is bringing that information through, because the more we can communicate in that way, the easier we can figure out where they are, what we need to do to create obviously the big thing is lead with love, right? And let love lead us. That's the big message that comes through. But yeah, it's been an interesting ride. Sure. I've had other lifetimes out there, so I'm familiar. So Sylvain and I come at this in very different angles.
Oh, absolutely. I'm learning from Tanys and the others that are channeling, because I'm not an experiencer. I've never even seen a UAP in the sky.
I'm more with you, Tanys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's all fascinating. It's all mysterious. It's putting different pieces of the puzzle in play. Because just because I haven't had an experience doesn't mean experiences don't happen, right? Like I know this. I'm not all knowing and all perceiving, but I do have a scientific hat. In a way, like I like to think of myself as a scientific purist, even in a sense that if you are a scientist, and you don't need to have a degree to be this. I'm just like generalizing the term scientist, right? Is that's someone that is curious, asks questions, and comes to a rational conclusion about everything. For example, Tanys is you both are channelers. I cannot perceive this channel. I don't know how to measure it. I've never channeled. That doesn't mean it's not there. That's an inappropriate conclusion. Just because I can't do it or I haven't experienced doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means exactly that. I can't do it. I haven't experienced it. That's it. And because other people are experiencing it, just makes me more curious. Because I'd like to know more. Is it real? Is it hallucination sometimes? Are the people crazy? Like there's different hypotheses as to why. But this is just rational thinking.
Right.
And I spoke with the leader of the Paradigm Institute about this, because he called me up and asked me specifically. This is Jim Garrison. I may have told you this story. And he called me up like a few weeks ago. He says, like, I have a question for you. It's like, how do you know if a person telling you the story is telling you the real story? Like a contactee, for example. I don't. Like, how can I? Right? But I said there are some filters. Like if you get to know the person, you get to know that the person doesn't have a ill intent about the information, like kind of making things up for benefit or something, because the money's going to be brought up, or opportunity, it's going to be commercialized in some ways. Like those we can reject most often because it's money, centric. And then what about the crazy people, right? Like you can probably detect if a person is not sound of mind after some interaction, even though we're not expert. It's like you can eliminate those. Like what remains are sound-minded individuals that are not doing it for any financial reason. They're doing it because they're compelled or because they feel it's important. So beneficial kind of motivations behind it. You still don't know for sure, but why would they do these things that are kind of edgy if it's not real, at least real to them? So I believe them. right? Because that's a scientific approach. I just have to believe them because even though I can't measure it, they're measuring it, they're feeling it, and therefore, yeah, it has to be in some way, shape, or form real, and that becomes really interesting because that the access to information, perception, angles of information that I don't have access to,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
that's a variety of humanity, and it doesn't only exist in topics like channeling, it
Right.
also exists in, I don't know, people that are autistic on the spectrum, or like they see the world in a very different. An artist, like I've met artists, like really like hardcore artists. They
Mhm.
see things and they see the world in a way completely different than I would. They're not
Mm.
crazy. They just see things differently.
Yeah.
The only way for me to tap into that is to talk with them and listen. It's the same thing. Why
Mm.
not?
Yeah.
Mm. There we go. It's
Well, and
and
most of us didn't choose this.
no.
That's the other thing. This, you
Well,
know, it. I was
I,
so for
I,
me, I was in a management job,
okay. Yeah.
doing healthcare, and then all of this stuff started to come in for me. And so,
Mm.
it's not something it chose me or they chose me. It wasn't me going out looking to do channeling.
Yeah.
That's in fact what I
I
first
was
started
the
was
I was
terrifying.
the crazy one that at 2 years old committed myself to the divine greatest good beings, and whatever was requested of me, as long as it was for good, you know,
Mhm.
um, I I did it. And but yeah, I'm the one who's gonna go back up there and start find myself and go.
What did you do that for?
Right.
Why was that soul contract in place?
What? What was this? What were you thinking? But no,
Yeah, but
in
it's an important
reality,
role.
it's a blessing. No, and I
Yeah,
was a paralegal. So imagine
yeah,
as a paralegal knowing things and all that other stuff, and you had to keep it hush hush because then you were the one that her work couldn't be good because she was crazy. So
Mm.
back then, you kind of have to, okay, like I can see the beings around the people and the attorneys and all that saying, this one is no good. Don't trust this one. And I would be like, and I'm trying to stay straight faced and look
yeah,
forward and not really do any reaction. But I'm sure my face was going, what? What are
yeah,
at some point my face had to be doing something
yeah.
because that's
Well,
just the way it is. So,
I'm an HR consultant as well, so
well,
I'm in that
okay.
business world as well as this one. And so, but when I first started, there was that fear, right?
Yeah.
There was that fear of coming out as a spiritual person or a channel
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever, or galactic ambassador. That was another
Uh,
another moment for me. um, but I'm all out now, so it's all right.
well, I have found that the older I get, the less I care.
Well, I think that has a big part to do with it as well.
Yeah.
But I really believe in this, that we're all one,
Oh
and
my
so that whole universal love piece
God. Hmm.
is strong for
Mm.
me, no matter what I'm doing, whether it's
Right.
HR, whether it's you know my healing practice, whether it's working with the galactics or with the alliance. Like, it's all about love, really. That's the
Hmm.
basis. And if we focused mostly on that piece, the rest of it can fall into place. And really, that's what the Federation wants too.
Hmm.
They just want us all to be kind,
Hmm.
compassionate,
Yeah,
loving.
to be nice.
Yeah. So just be nice, guys. Just be nice.
Play
Just be
nice
nice.
in the sand.
Exactly.
We're
But
getting there. We're
yeah,
getting there.
yeah, no, but it is true. I mean, there's a lot of fear with Atlas right now. And I keep telling them if they wanted us gone, they would not be traveling all this way. Because if they could travel all this way, they could just send a beam, poof, we're gone, and that's it.
Exactly. Yeah, they're on an
So,
exploration mission, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're circling. They're trying to figure out where the whole configuration of our system is, and to figure out, okay, oh, this planet has different type of life, because we know that there's life in other planets, just different than ours.
Sure.
And people don't understand, haven't quite comprehended that. Let's just say that. There's life that we cannot see. There's life that's so minute that you need high powered, you know things to.
Microscopes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. So it's just what you see. And I'm like you, I'm a big believer that we came from love, we
Mhm.
go back to love, and hopefully we continue practicing love in between those two journeys. But sometimes we forget.
If we can at least
Absolutely.
make a positive impact wherever we
Yes,
go. That's always
exactly.
been my thing, right? I can remember being a little kid. I was one of those ones that was like, 10 going on 25. My parents used to tell me that all the time. But it was like, I just want to make a difference. Like,
Hmm.
Mm.
even at that age,
Yeah.
that was what my focus was. And,
Same.
Hmm.
I think that those of us that are involved in
Yeah,
this kind of thing, I mean, we are here for a reason.
right.
I tell Sylvain all the time that he is talking to them. He's just maybe not aware, but he is talking to them. And even if it's just talking, like having these conversations,
Right.
like they're involved in these
Hmm.
conversations, right? We
Hmm.
we have them around, we have them listening, and it's really, they get very excited when we have these. In fact, I'm getting tingles right now, so they're
Right.
super excited that we're
Right.
having these kind of conversations and putting it out there,
Hmm.
um, because that really is the focus of how we want to go forward as
Hmm.
a society, as an Earth, as a planet, right? Going forward.
Yes. Yes. And
Absolutely.
they're hoping that we don't destroy this planet before we could actually make physical contact, here.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they've already. My understanding is there were a couple of times that things were, buttons were pushed that were not supposed to be,
mhm.
and they stopped that. And
Yes. Oh,
so
I'm
my
glad that you're
hope,
saying that, because
yeah,
that message has come to me already. And the last one that I heard was about 2 months ago. So,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So we're on the same page there.
So they are intervening.
Right.
So, for me, that just gives me hope that, okay, so we've got some support to
Mm-hmm.
make these changes, and so how do we make them going forward here, right?
Mm.
I
Right.
mean, that's the other piece. And so I think that's part of why the alliance is important for me, is like, how do we make these changes with things like the Geneva Convention, which, with the UN, doing that. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's one small piece, but that small piece will affect, like, galactic unity,
Right.
Yep.
That
right?
will ripple out there,
Absolutely.
and just continue that energy, and that that whole experience
Hmm.
will just ripple out there, and hopefully everyone will finally realize that they're not really here to destroy us. Like I said, they could have
No.
already destroyed us a long time ago.
Actually, something
Even in the
interesting.
Orion Wars, they were doing that, right? They,
Yeah.
they were destroying whole planets. So, like,
Right.
if that was their mission, they wouldn't be.
No.
That we wouldn't be here.
No.
Yeah.
In the scientific circles, what's interesting is that you're dealing with very, very rational type of people, right?
Hmm.
They don't tend to be believers. They tend to be they don't jump to conclusions. They tend to see things rationally,
Right.
and many of them do see a danger, but it's not what the normal population think. Like you talked about, like ration.
Hmm.
They're very rational people. It's like, well, yeah, if they're here already, like, and they wanted ill for us, like they would have destroyed us, like it's because
Hmm.
that's right. But they do see a danger, and the way they express it is basically it's two scenarios with ETs
Mhm.
from a super rational kind of thinking. One perspective is that they don't want to bother us. It's like stay away from the aggressive people.
Mhm.
Leave them alone. Because they have access to the whole galaxy for resources and place,
Yeah.
like there's no reason for them to be involved in kind of in an extractive type of fashion. They just kind
Right.
of leave that planet alone. We got all sorts of stuff that we can do elsewhere, right? It's not interesting in
Right.
a sense, unless it's philosophically interesting, which it is for perhaps like curiosity
Yes.
Mhm.
and a bunch
Like,
of other reasons. So, but they won't, they won't harm. They just kind of stay watchful. So
Mhm.
that's one perspective. The other perspective is, these civilizations that can cross the stars are very advanced. Maybe they see us as insignificant, like
Mhm.
ants.
Hmm.
And that can become dangerous in their thinking. And I understand the reasonings, because if you believe these people on this planet is like ants, and I don't know, you need to do an experiment in the solar system, you need, like, the ants are inconsequential, so
Mhm.
by a secondary effect humanity can be destroyed, because they mean it's like, well, let's move this solar system because
Mhm.
of some reason. There's people that there's people are not consequential. Let's just move the solar system, and it doesn't matter what happened to them. Like that kind of attitude,
Mhm.
that grandiose, like bigger than everything else is. And I think about, like, that could be in danger, and we have no control over that.
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
But
that is part
the
of the discussion that's happening in scientific circles. Like the scientists, being curious people, what they want to do is they want to make sure to have contact, because that, to alleviate that danger, is like, because they don't know, it's like how extraterrestrials were perceived. Like, well, that's a possibility.
Right.
Let's have contact so that they see that we're not ants, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So my understanding is that from the Federation standpoint, they are they have the codex. They have like this whole, you know, way that they deal with civilizations, and they're fascinated with us right now because we have made more progress on raising the vibration of the earth in a short amount of time than they've ever seen. And so there's a lot of ships around right now. And
Mhm.
that is why, because they're observing and they're like, how are they doing that? Because they're like, we're shifting in this huge way. And so we're very supported energetically. And I'm getting chills on that. Which is my confirmation. But
Mhm.
we're getting supported in so many ways, energetically from them, as well as, these unseen things that are happening, like the protecting us from the button, those
Mhm.
kinds of things. But they don't see. I that is not my impression that they see us as ants. That's not it at all. Because if
No,
something were to happen, and part of the reason they've stopped these the button pushing stuff is because if that happens here on Earth, it will ripple out throughout the
Mhm.
universe. And so part of it for them doing that is a self preservation because it will affect everybody because we are all connected.
Yep.
And of course, that kind of ripple can make huge, devastating changes to ecosystems all over the universe.
Mhm.
And so they don't want us to be making that kind of change. But they are fascinated by how we are changing our systems here. Now, it's not an easy change for us. I mean, we've got all sorts of things happening in the world right now, but we have to go through that sort of chaotic time period in order to have these huge changes like
Mm.
we're experiencing.
Right.
And we're experiencing these because we are moving towards a kinder, more compassionate, you know, um,
Enlightened.
enlightened sort of world, right?
Right.
But the systems that we have right now, they're all built on fear.
yeah.
And we
Mhm.
can't go forward with systems built on fear. So it means a real dismantling of some of these public systems, the social interaction systems. All of those need to be revamped
Mhm.
to be, love based instead of fear based. But this is like, you know, thousands and thousands of years of programming we got going on here, folks. We got a lot of work to do. But they are very, very pleased with how fast we are getting through and how many people are having these conversations, whether it's on podcasts or around the kitchen table.
Yeah.
There's just so much advanced conversations, knowledge, wisdom
Mm-hmm.
that people are integrating at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And, and that's like you were talking about, Sylvain, that's the grassroots of all of this is that those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily related to ETs also in these conversations. It's just that people just realizing certain things in a certain way, and I'm deep into AI and these kind of things, and you have these discussions that are beautiful in the AI space. So you got those commercial, we got Tom Altman that are just pushing, well, let's push the envelope and things like that. So that's one piece. But you have others that are just like, well, they're saying like we're giving birth to a new consciousness, and we have to be careful. We have to be wiser. We have to have these discussions in public about we need to reform ourselves. These are technologists. Like you wouldn't expect those
Mm-hmm.
people to have these enlightened moments. It's like we're transforming humanity. We need to be responsible. We need to change ourselves because we're giving birth to a new intelligence. And it's like, wow. And one of them, I won't remember his name now, but anyway, but he started a company about love, using AI to try to find your soulmate, basically. And when he speaks, he speaks like he started this because he wants to see more love on the planet.
Yeah.
It's his purpose. It's like, well, so it comes from all over, like these
Okay.
kind of like light bulb moments.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are just realizing we have to, we must transform, and the transformation is internal, and it's in no longer seeing other, but seeing yourself and loving and so on. And I'm very encouraged by all this because it's not something that I need to push out. It's something that seems to come from everywhere, in all over the place. So I'm very encouraged. And a little comment, because I read this morning. This is from Avi Loeb, an article about Avi Loeb, Dr. Avi Loeb, 3AI Atlas. There was this comment, and I'm diverging from the comment, but I wanted to sneak this in because I found it very interesting. He made a bet with another scientist.
Okay.
Because NASA made a declaration that 3AI Atlas is indeed, in fact, a comet. And Avi Loeb says, like, I digress. Like, I don't agree. I think we don't know what it is. Like, I think there's still a high chance. He puts it at 40% chance that is technological at this point, based on observation and things like that. So he made a bet with another scientist from NASA. He says, like, I bet you $1,000 of my own money, right? Actually, the other scientist made the bet. Like, I bet you $1,000 that you won't find intelligent life, extraterrestrial life, by 2030.
Oh.
We got lots of time.
Yeah.
But that's 5 years from now, mind you. Like,
Yeah, they're coming down soon.
yeah. So that I found the bet very interesting because, like, we won't find by 2030. So that's pretty interesting bet from NASA. It's like because there's a lot of efforts to find life,
Right.
but there's very little effort in finding intelligent extraterrestrial life. UEPs and otherwise SETI. Like SETI has been going on for like 50 years or something, right? And Avi Loeb took that bet. It's like, I think we will now. And the bet is only $1,000, but it's still
it's significant. Yeah,
significant though.
Significant for an individual, and it would be donated to the Galileo project, which is Avi Loeb's project to explore and identify extraterrestrial intelligent life. So these little things to me make me laugh, in a good way, because people are just placing bets in very short timelines on whether or not we'll be in contact. And from our indicators in the community, we're pretty sure that this will happen before 2030 as well.
It's still, so from the Federation standpoint, they're still in a wait and see. They have a goal of 2027.
Yeah.
But it is a wait and see. So they're like, let's see how much they can do, because at the rate they're going, they're doing well. But we do still have a ways to go in terms of creating a hospitable place for them
Mhm.
to join
Yeah.
us. So the more work we do with like these kinds of conversations, and the more work we can do with the alliance, getting those changes made, and building the embassy and all of that stuff, the more of that we can do, the faster we can get them here.
Mhm.
So that's that we have to be ready, right? They don't want
Yeah.
to create fear, because that's not what they want.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that they're coming down and people are coming at it from love and curiosity, and looking for that shared understanding that I was mentioning. That's what they hope for.
And they're looking at Atlas as a great opportunity
Hmm.
to see how we are reacting,
Absolutely.
Hmm.
to see if we are finally saying, yeah, okay, you know what? I could accept that that's, a galactic
Yeah.
vessel or, you know, ET or whatever. Or, oh my God, I'm going to hide under the covers. And what's that going to do? I haven't figured it out yet. Because if they want us gone, the covers are going to do absolutely nothing.
Well, I saw them in bed, so
And those bunkers from the 50s, or from World War I and World War II, they're not going to do anything either.
no.
No.
But we won't need that kind of
No,
protection,
no.
right? We're going to need it more from ourselves if there's that kind of
Yes.
stuff, and that's what
Mhm.
they're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Right? They're not worried about us being a threat to them. They're in because we're not really, but they don't want to come down and create chaos here,
Right. Exactly.
right?
Right.
And create fear.
We're our own problem here.
Absolutely,
Right.
yeah,
But
Which is one of the reasons they make me channel them on camera
yeah,
to help people remember where they came from, to help people remember who they truly are. So there is not the chance lessons and lessons with that idea of fear and chaos and all that. It's to try to get you back into the love and understand who you really are, where you really came from, and maybe create that space, that sacred space, safe space around, so you don't go crazy, as we're
mm,
talking.
yeah.
But I mean,
Stay
it's
out of fear, and
yeah,
and you
right,
know, and into that love-based thinking.
exactly.
yes, I think that's correct. It's you know, humanity has to develop an open mind,
Yeah,
and to open their minds about this topic, you have to remove the fear,
Yeah,
because fear brings you into narrow focus and into survivalism.
yeah,
So if you remove the fear and you have an open mind, then you can accept all sorts of concepts that are a bit odd to your day to day. That you're part of a universe, that you're connected with others, and that's all the groundwork that's going on. Right, talk speaks to this. I think that's really important work that we're all doing. We're all participating in doing that. Um, and the I think one of the exercises. This is one of my dreams of contact, right? Because they can make contact with all of us, like in our bed, for example.
exactly.
They
Or
can
the
go in and
backyard.
you can lock your door if you like, but if they want to show up, they'll show up, right? So
Yeah,
you can't, in essence, you can't protect yourself against a visitation
right,
with the technology. That's the only reason they're not doing that, because they choose not to, out of respect
right.
and out of love. And they do it in very specific circumstances with certain people like Tanys and some of the and you, Glenda, for specific reasons to guide, and maybe they detect that the person's ready. Like this, I don't know, they do a diagnostic of some sort, I'm sure, to make
Many
sure
of us
it's
have agreed to this in past lives. And
Right.
stuff like that. So like knowing this, and I tell this to like almost every interview presentation. It's like I just make the audience realize the power of technology and how 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 we're really primitive in comparison. And we can just I illustrate this like this. Okay. Now it's 2025, just with our own technology. Excuse me. It's 2025. In the year 2000, we barely had internet, right?
Yeah.
And right now we have like smart AI assistants that are doing stuff for us, right? This in 25 years, we went from that to here. There was also like there was a little caption I saw yesterday. It was measuring something in the past where like the car, like a vehicle, like a car, like the T4 or something like that. I forget. The Gerald Ford's, not Gerald Ford's, like Ford's first car, like it's a T something. Anyway, that was in 1904, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we landed on the moon in the early 60s, 60 years later.
Yeah.
Going from horse to car, 68 later, we landing on the moon. Okay. 60 years. Okay. An advanced civilization that can come here is more than 60 years more advanced than we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we did that in 60 years. And we went from like barely be able to internet, like with still landlines, kind of technology, to I have an intelligent computer assistant doing stuff for me in 25 years. Right? So we cannot imagine what an advanced civilization can do over and beyond what we can do today ourselves. They can be as intrusive as we can imagine. I even did the illustration of they can probably sit on their couches on their own home planet and read your mind where you are. Even if you're encased in concrete, they probably can do that. So any kind of illusion of defense or protection or all this stuff, it's null and void. Like that's fallacy. What we started off with in the conversation of like, if we were to be aggressor or not, that's absolutely the right thing to say. Like, look, you cannot defend yourself and you don't need to. You don't need to. You are the primitive tribe in the Amazon, right? And they are the Americans with all the satellites.
Yeah.
Yeah, take your bows and arrows and sticks and try to defend yourself. You don't need to defend yourself. We're going to leave you alone. The American example may not be a good example.
But that's another whole story.
I'm just gonna let that one go by.
I was illustrating the difference in technology. But they're not bothering us because they don't want to. We shouldn't be afraid because there's wisdom there.
Right. Yeah.
And we should be welcoming that wisdom because we want to know. We should be curious, and we want to know our past. We should be inquiring to become better through example. They've gone through this shit. Long time.
Yes.
Okay. And we're kind of thinking about like, what's going to happen in the next few years because AI is here and we're transforming a new economy. We need transfer systems. We don't know what's going to look like. Their examples are out there. Let's just meet them and they can share what they've gone through, and then we can pick safe paths into our
Yeah.
own future with our own under our own steam. And that's going to be beneficial because they won't, just because there's going to be a contact, they won't start to dictate to us all of a sudden and bring armies. Like, if they wanted to do that, they would have done that a long time ago. Like,
Oh, please. Yes.
Yeah.
no, they're going to come. Like, my vision is they're going to come under our terms to not scare us.
Right.
They're going to come with their suits and briefcases or whatever, right? Like, and
I
we're
don't
going
think
to
I've
come
seen
with our
any of
suits
those.
and
Okay.
briefcases.
I haven't seen any like that. So, but okay.
No.
Like, I'm just
Tablet
taking a picture
maybe,
here.
but
Like, make us feel
That's the way he will
comfortable.
be scared.
they'll
To make
probably
us
show
feel
up dressed like
comfortable,
that.
right? Like
Right.
we're
Come,
this is
make it
you
feel
recognize this. Like
Yeah.
we come and we sit at the table. You
Yeah.
sit at the table. We start conversation,
Right.
and while they're thinking like this is completely like waste of time, but because there's more effective way to do this, but they'll be
Right.
doing that because
Well, they have a
that's
different
how
attitude.
we understand,
Right.
Yeah,
right?
they have a
Out
different
of
attitude.
respect, and
Yeah.
they're gonna have this chit chats and the conversations, and it's gonna take time, and then after a while they're gonna say, look, like next time, can we do it this other way? Because we can. Is it okay?
And we'll be like, huh,
Right?
all right.
And then
All
we're
right.
all of a sudden like everybody on the planet receives this neural broadcasts where they're talking to everybody simultaneously.
Mhm.
But us being forewarned that would be the case
Right.
out of respect. It's like, oh, okay, yes, now they're talking to everybody, not a representative in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, that's the way I see it. It's a respectful way, and I'm basing myself a lot on Star Trek, which I love from Roddenberry.
Well, Star Trek comes from somewhere,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
It's people getting
Yeah.
downloads of information, and it's an inspiration. You need to write a movie about this because I
Yes.
just had this great dream.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Star Trek is lovely that way because it's science fiction, but it's also quite well thought through and possibly
Mhm.
inspired, like you said.
Mhm.
And at first, when they make first contact, they land, spaceship, and they land, they step into the office, and they have like a conversation with the leaders and what you'd expect. And then they say, next time, like, can we do it different? And then like they beam them up. Oh,
Would you like
here's our
Earth very
spaceship.
hot?
Here's your planet through the window. It's like,
This little tiny thing there.
Yeah.
it's like,
You're like-
and the people are like, oh my gosh, like this feels really, yeah, like let's do it differently. So anyway, that's what I'm hoping
Well,
to see.
I feel that that's the way they're going to do it as well. I mean, I wouldn't say in suit and tie and all that, but close.
They will
But-
have to wear some kind of covering. to keep
Right,
them
some kind of
comfortable.
covering so we don't go, "Oh, okay, you know what I mean? Exactly. But see, by example, when I was born, I was born remembering everything. So to me, like the archangels, what we call archangels, came to me and would talk to me, but they would be dressed like the pictures that are drawn of them. That's not how really they look. But when I was 2 years old, a child, you're not going to present yourself the way they really look because I would have probably had a stroke. And I would have been scared of everything, absolutely everything. So they showed themselves according to my age, my knowledge, and my fear level to make themselves and myself feel safe, and it was sacred, and I could talk to them. Of course, not talk to them, but talk to them. But I would communicate that way and not have to fear them. I actually felt like they were part of me. And then for a long time, I didn't even know people couldn't see them, just for the record, because they were my buddies. They were with me all the time. So I figured that that's the way the extraterrestrials are going to do as well, because they're going to come with the vision that we can handle in person. I mean, Tanys, for sure, we've seen the truth already. So they don't come in suits and ties. Although, Maybe they will just for a joke next time.
More likely robes, I'd say.
It robes, yeah.
Yeah.
But they would, but they do come accordingly to make us not fear them.
Yeah.
And even the bugs, uh, even them,
that are,
they had their I saw them in the white robe with lots of gold shiny things in the front, all type of signs, symbols, and all that other stuff. And of course, I'm going like, oh God, when is this gonna stop? But
when I saw them, they weren't wearing robes, which was interesting.
oh,
Yeah, they didn't come to see me in robes. They came in.
ooh, they came naked.
They did. Yeah, they were their insectoid selves. Yeah. But it's like a delegation, right?
Right,
We're probably
right.
speaking to one of their leaders who they tend to be a little bit more
Formal,
formal.
more formal. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
But you'd expect, and this is just me, right? Like an enlightened, advanced civilization. Because of course, this is a projection of us where we're headed. I'm
right.
thinking, because that's the only way I can process this, and also it makes sense to me. What extraterrestrial civilizations would wear, like just thinking about clothing, which is a simple thing, is number one, comfort. Number two, function.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That means if the occasion applies, they wear nothing,
Mhm.
uh, because why not? Like
Right.
if it's comfortable and there's no the function applies where you can be naked, it's like naked. Um, to me, that's an advanced civilization. You don't put on clothing for other reasons than those two things,
Right.
or maybe
Right.
decoration, art. Like there's other reasons
Or
that.
yeah, or
But
different.
not because like I feel ashamed of my body,
Yeah, no.
Oh
or
no, it's not that way.
those things that we do have here,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Or some kind of other belief based or emotional or negative emotion aligned kind of
Right.
reason. Like I need to hide my body because of shame, and is a
Yeah.
pure example.
No.
So I can imagine meetings where there's a bunch of naked people. Because it's comfortable and the function doesn't require a particular clothing or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's like just go naked, and perfectly fine.
Mhm.
And to a lot of people, that's really really uncomfortable. But
Mhm.
that's because we learned
That's right.
from religion and some belief systems that to shame our bodies and some. In Canada, we wear clothing almost 100% of the time
Mhm.
Well, it's
because
cold.
it's cold.
I
Just
could go
like
out
in
today without
Pennsylvania,
clothes on.
okay? Right now in Pennsylvania, it's 31 degrees Fahrenheit, okay?
There you
It's
go.
cold.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's snowing
Well,
here.
you don't find a lot of naked people in Canada or in Pennsylvania. But imagine if Christianity didn't exist.
Right. Mhm.
Like it was predominantly,
Right.
Christian,
Right.
with all those teachings, and in the pagan days, like before pre-Christian days, people ran around naked quite often
Yes.
in
Every
Europe.
ritual was
Yeah.
naked because
Yeah.
you wanted to give your full self because it wasn't about the body, wasn't about the shame, it was to giving your true self to the environment, to the gods at that point.
Mhm.
So they saw you for real, who you really are. This was
Yeah.
just the vessel.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's interesting. We went into like being naked from building an ET embassy. But,
We covered a lot of ground. Well, it's
yeah,
covered a
we
lot of
the
ground.
society, though, right? It's the different societies, and we're
right,
talking about that
exactly.
Yeah.
in terms of different beings having different social norms and all of that.
Mhm.
And we've got, they have the non-intervention, right?
Right,
We have free will, and they have a non-intervention
exactly.
Yeah.
part of their codex. So,
Mhm.
that's the reason they're going to come down in whatever we want to see them in because they don't want to. If they show up completely naked and we aren't prepared, then that would be a bit of a interference.
Yes.
They're laughing
Yeah,
That's all I can hear in my head.
By the way, on your left-hand side, there's an Arcturian that is just laughing at all our conversations, like almost to the point of literally bending down laughing.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and it's like it's so silly. Why are they even thinking this?
We're trying to normalize you guys. It's okay. This is Rigus, so yeah.
Nice to meet you there.
He works with me a lot.
This silliness is an important thing.
Yes.
It is.
Because humor is a great educator.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes us think. And that's why I love stand-up comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I love comedians because they bring up topics in a humorous way and makes you think because of how ridiculous we are often.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us rethink what we think and why we do certain things, and it changes us. And humor is healthy. It's great. So and I've heard from many channelers and contactees and stuff that ETs and many of the people they've contacted, some of them became prophets, for example, in the olden days and so on. They were laughing all the time. Laugh all the time. Because it's a great lesson of wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They have a great sense of humor. I can tell you that.
They do. Yeah. I have two Pleiadians that I work with. They're named Meek and Oni, and they are hilarious. I used to walk around humming all the time, and I'm like, I don't know this song. What am I humming? And then I realized it was them. And then as soon as I would realize it, they'd break out laughing. They're like,
But you get to know them and you remember them easier that way too.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's too serious, it becomes too boring, and then your brain goes, that's it, bye.
Yeah. Well, some of them are kind of serious, but the ones that you work with on a regular basis, they loosen up a little bit. But Rigus used to be very serious. When he first came, he was very.
Well, he was an assignment.
He was, yeah.
He was on an assignment. So
he's actually the one that did the healing on me that night.
Very good.
That's why he's standing here. As I talk to him. She's talking about me again. Why is she talking about me this time?
So one of my oldest mentors, who's still a mentor to me now today, he used to say, be very serious about be very serious about taking things not seriously. Like take that seriously, basically. Which is a bit convoluted, but
it's like a lot of wisdom, though.
But it's a lot of wisdom, yeah. And he would, in the counterpart, he would say, like you have to avoid, the seriousness, right? Like so it's kind of like counterintuitive in a way when you say both of those things, right? So because one of those paths brings love and harmony and health, and being serious about other things, right? Brings illness and misery, like being too serious about your life, that kind of thing. So you got to be serious about being crazy, basically, about being nuts. Do that a lot.
I'm cool with that. I'm a Gemini. I'm done.
I'm a Leo, so I'm just,
Oh, you're just behind. You're just.
Yeah. So there's definitely a lot of wisdom there, and I think it's I've been carrying that lesson for a long time. Like there's a lot. I do a lot of serious work, like
Mm-hmm.
because I deal with academics and science. Like it's very, a lot of details. There's a lot of the technology is the same. Like there's repercussions, and everybody's dealing with serious things in their own lives,
Mhm.
right? In their own way. But if you perceive the world around you in a fun way,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to laugh all the time. You're going to laugh all day, right? Because there's a lot of silliness happening everywhere,
Yes.
and you got to see it that way. And the greatest lesson I've had, and this is something I learned when in my early 40s. Finally, it took me a while to learn this, and it made so much sense at that time. And I knew this, but it took me a while to really to know it. Like that's when in my early 40s, I was about 42, 43. So a few years ago. You are the creator of your own reality.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're the ones that decides whether something around you is perceived as funny or serious or to be angry or not. Like all of this stuff is a decision that you make through your perception, how you see the world, how you see people. We're talking about like criminals or people that do bad things, but you can be angry at them.
Mm-hmm.
You can see them with compassion,
Mm-hmm.
and you can even see in some of these ways. You can see the crazy and the humor in the universe in all the varieties of it. You can choose how you see things. You can choose a way to see things that is beneficial for you and also can drive good changes in society in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
That's a choice. But most people, sorry, most people see things like they see things like they're a victim of what's happening outside,
Yeah.
right? And they feel powerless and fearful and depressed
Mm-hmm.
because they feel like this is something outside of me. I have no control over this, and this is terrible, and it affects me. And I want to teach, and you guys do a lot more teaching in this than I do, but we should all practice this. Like we have to teach. No, this is outside of you. You have control. You can choose to deny access.
Mm-hmm.
If it's junk, you can choose to deny access, and you can even flip it around. It's like start seeing all these things in a positive way, seeing
Yep.
compassion instead of fear, and
Mm-hmm.
seeing beauty instead of ugliness, and
Mm-hmm.
so on. And then you can let everything in because now you're filtering it in a positive way.
Very true.
And that's the greatest lesson I've ever learned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really about like peeling away the layers of
Yes.
programming that we have. I think it was Shrek that said we're like onions, but I use that a lot.
Me
We
too.
really are, right? We peel away these layers of programming because the programming is what makes us react instead of respond to something. And
Exactly.
so when we can pull those off, we can start to have that moment to say, okay, why? How do I want to react to this? And that's where we can make the choice. Are we going to react with are we going to laugh at this? Are we
Mm-hmm.
going to take it serious and respect? Are we going to, get upset over this? And if we have that one moment, that's where that powerful moment when you have anything happen, that
Mm-hmm.
that is the most powerful moment. And unfortunately, a lot of us have been in fight or flight for so many years
Yeah.
that the reaction that we have is really based. It's not even based on what's happening in front of us. It's based on all of our previous experiences that we've had. Um, and it may not even just be this lifetime, right? It could be the
Mm-hmm.
lifetimes that we
Exactly.
carry. It's energy that we've encountered, and we have a programmed response from that. So
Mm-hmm.
really, every situation is just a trigger to trigger that programming. And when we can start to peel away the programming, that's when we come to be. Are you getting beamed up? Over
It seems to be shimmering.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I know he looked like he was coming in and out. I was like,
It's kinda like,
"Ooh, it's
what's
happening to him."
am I? I don't know.
Anyway, so we're just like, you looked like you were getting beamed up. That's what it looked like to me. I was like, okay, guys, leave him here for a minute. We got to talk to him. Yeah, so when we can pull away that programming, then that
Yes.
what your knowledge is or what your teaching is there, so that is important. That's when we use that. So the more we can understand what our wounding is and the programs is based on our wounding, then we can move forward and start to work through the energy of that.
And Tanys, it's like a lot of people just think it's a quick pill.
Yeah, I know.
And I kind of wish it was so I could give it to them and get it over and done with. But it is layer by layer by layer by layer.
But the process itself can be so rewarding.
Yes.
And we're all here. That is why we're here, is to learn.
And
really, that whole healing process is all about learning.
And
learning this happened, and this is what happens for me.
Yeah, and very empowering. People feel disempowered, but they have so much power within them.
Yeah.
So
that's the best, right? The powerlessness that a lot of people feel can be completely reversed when they just realize that they actually have all the power. And that's that's when you find yourself, really. You find your real self. So when you capture that understanding, that deep understanding, because it's not just superficial intellectual, it has to be like a deep understanding of it.
It's an understanding,
and then
not an understanding. It's an understanding.
And you start remodeling your brain and your life and organizing things into a very comfortable. It doesn't matter what the chaos is around you then. And that's what's really interesting. You have control, and and that's. I mean, I this is not my path to do this. I seem to be busy elsewhere. But a lot of people like you guys and many others that are listening are working on this. Like, how can we teach this to remove the misery and the frustration and suffering of the planet? Is almost exclusively this. It's just that people not feeling like they have power for themselves and feeling like they're subjected by the environment and other people. And if we can teach that and really get that integrated, there's going to be a lot less, fewer issues, and a lot more happiness and welcoming and sharing, and it'll be easier because the environment's going to be even better that way.
Well, and community is key too, right?
Yeah.
So really feeling like you're part of something greater than yourself. That is key as well, and that's why that's part of the alliances thing too, right? Having that community and all of us banding together to have that shared goal. And they're beaming him up again.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I'm trying to ignore the beaming up thing.
A couple minutes more. Okay. You might be in for a fun evening. For a fun day today.
He may get his wish, right? To remember.
Sorry. Sylvain, they're saying that when you're ready, you can choose and tell them that you'd like to remember some of the meetings you've been at.
Right.
Because you've been at meetings. You just have to choose to remember it.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll try. I'll do that.
So,
yeah. Right before you try to sleep, just say, I want to remember.
Because we often go to meetings in the dream time.
Right.
That's when we get pulled in. So.
Yeah, the other ones are just, conversations, not real meetings, but conversations during daytime. But you run the full effect. You want to experience the beam, the spacecraft, the whole thing.
It's awesome.
Yes.
It's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
is there anything else that you guys want to share that we have not about this?
No, I
Well, I
think
think,
that, yeah, go ahead, Tanys.
yeah, I think like just noting that, we have a Discord
Mm-hmm.
channel, um, we have a YouTube channel, and of course social media accounts. Just come and join us, and you know, let's have the conversations. Let's talk about all of this. The more we talk, the more
Mm-hmm.
healing happens. So that,
Thank you.
No, that's it. It's like in closing, like we accept everybody that wants to have a chat and share. The Discord is a great place because it's a community, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
just like post something and others will respond. And if people want to check out like our mission and some of the more those details that are more diplomatic and the documents and things like that, then you can go to our website, which is alliance the number 4 et.org. You can go there. There's a membership page also, and you can, if people want to be involved in a more direct way, that's a point of contact. And if you ever message through the Alliance webpage, then I typically receive those emails. So I'll probably be the one responding. At least that's how it's structured right now. We're a volunteer-based organization, not for profit.
yeah,
So
nonpartisan. We're not connected to anything
yeah,
political or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
we accept everybody. The purpose of the alliance is to bring the whole of humanity along. So all the organization individuals, some individuals and organizations are more involved, depending on their mandate, than
Right.
others, working with us and in whatever capacity you can. And that's the freedom of it, right? As we try to work in the same way that we feel humanity should function, where people are just more invested. That's fine. They invest more of their
Mm-hmm.
time, whatever they want. If people want to be more passive and doing their own thing and just be connected, and if that's okay too, right? And I think that's the future of humanity in a way. I see where in a world of abundance, where I foresee the next soon, a few years from now, people won't work for a living anymore, for example. It'll be a different world. We need to change the systems to do that,
Yeah.
and then we need to adapt to certain things. But we're practicing for the time when after contact happens, when we're going to learn about all these ways of living together that are non-exploitative,
Mm-hmm.
that are peaceful and harmonious, and we're discovering our own path towards that already. But it's like I call this, choice and practice time. Like where we're kind of choosing our path and we're practicing new ways of thinking and doing, and we're testing each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So coming to the alliance and kind of like being in that test bed of ideas, that can be beneficial for people. And if you want to be involved in the discussions with governments or you want to do some reach outs with us, then become a volunteer, be one of us,
Mhm.
and you can choose your own activity or what you want to do. Glenda, I think we had the conversation by email a little bit, like what can you do? Well, you can continue doing what you're doing. For
Yep.
example, plus you can do more because
Yep.
you're doing what you probably should be doing, and that's really helpful. It's all this, the 99.9% of the work
Mm.
is
Yeah,
not diplomatic conversations.
Right.
it's regular kitchen table conversations,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
these kind of conversations.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's all these other things that are happening all over the place that need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What we were talking about, just like the change of mindset of how we should be responsible and powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's good work that leads to the embassy as well.
Yeah.
So come have a chat, be energized if you're already doing some of the work like this that is helpful for humanity. You're already helping the
Mm-hmm.
embassy. We just want you to be publicly acknowledged and to maybe join the team and say, well, these are bigger numbers, but these numbers are actually helpful. This is a good point. We didn't really talk about this. Because I spoke with Danielle, my partner, like just yesterday about this again. When he's talking to governments, the governments are interested in two things for the embassy. Interested in whether or not we have funds. Basically, are you serious? Did you raise
Right.
something to finance this project? And we did. And this is something that the Aurelian movement did, because they're the one that were raising funds for like 50 years, more than 50 years. They're controlling the bank account for that project. Great. Second thing they asked, like, is there support for this? The Alliance is here to say, like, look, we have 36 organizations, 2.4 million people represented, and gathering more. So the more we have publicly acknowledging, more organizations, more people that, yes, we want this. When we talk to government, we say, okay, cash is there, check mark. Here's the support network. Here's everybody that wants to see this happen. The Alliance has that.
Right.
And if it's 4 million, if it's 5 million, if it's 10 million, in multiple languages, more people, the easier it is to make it happen with governments. Because then they say, wow, okay, that's going to be an impressive amount of people interested in that embassy. That'll come for tourism. They'll buy condos. Because of that, let's be honest, they're not altruistic.
No.
No.
Right.
But I want to mention too that the Raelians are one of our supporters, right? But the Alliance itself is very much like
it's a separate organization.
It's neutral. It's we all have our beautiful gifts that we bring together, to create this. So that's the fun part. We get to.
That's the fun part, and I keep
all sorts of people
encouraging other organizations that want to bring other assets that are like central or useful. Like numbers is important, like we just talked about. So just building up numbers, that's useful for discussions. But if you want to contribute something else tangible, maybe it's a contact. We've had that actually, contact to a nation or to a foreign affairs department or something like that. Bring that. That's useful. It's like that's like a lead into discussion. If an organization comes with more funds, great. Like we pull everything together.
Right.
Different organizations bring their game, right? Whatever they have, and we're all kind of like pitching it. We're not taking it from you. It's like we're just pitching together.
Right.
Collaboration.
Right? As a collective.
Collaboration.
Right? This is humanity.
Yeah.
The Aurelian they happen to have started this project a long time ago and have funds dedicated to that. Great. We're using that. The Alliance has this network of people that we can tell a story about numbers. Great. If you bring something else, and we're going to talk about that too. And we're going to talk about all this stuff because it's everybody. We're doing this not for us. We don't want the branding. We don't want the recognition. We don't care about that thing. We want the embassy to be built because that means that's one indicator that humanity has an agreement to do the contact in a certain way.
Yeah.
The only thing remaining of that is whether or not humanity is generally ready, like beyond the buildings, which we talked about earlier. So then we can, once the embassy is built, basically we can fade away and work on the other stuff because that's just one piece.
Right.
The Alliance will probably, we never really discussed this, Tanys, like a lot. But once the embassy is built, we'll probably change our mission. We're probably going to be supporting the rest of that needs to be done, like the preparedness in humanity, teaching and education, and that kind of thing.
Well, I see that coming soon. Yeah.
Yeah. I know many other organizations would be doing the same thing. They won't dissolve. They'll just change their missions. Okay, that's done. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to helping in different ways, humanity's evolution.
Right.
Yeah. And I know that there's a bunch of us that are already working on this, the education piece and the diplomacy stuff and that kind of thing, whether we're doing it in our own organizations or doing it with the Alliance, and so those are the people that we want to partner with, the people that are already doing this kind of work so that we can, pool resources, which is just what the Federation does, right? That's
Mhm.
one of their mandates, is that if you're a member of the Federation, you agree that, you're going to be open and share knowledge and technology and stuff. And so that's kind of, we're mimicking the Federation by doing that, by bringing all sorts of information and people and or other organizations and all of those things together to
Yeah,
create
bring
that.
people under a tent, right?
Yeah,
And just like a tent, like there are flaps, so people can come and go,
of
Mhm.
course.
right?
Well, because
But
people will be
there's a
more,
tent.
some people will be more into certain areas of projects. That's more their piece, and then others will be coming in to do this kind of piece, and that's just, it's going to happen just naturally,
Mhm.
depending on what people
Yeah,
are interested in or what their strengths are, what, that kind of thing. So
right. The alliance just brings, I guess, a bit of structure to it, so we can tell a story, right? Because we're the organizations that are in part of the alliance. Like they didn't start doing activities when we discovered them. They were already doing these things.
yeah,
We just like ask them, okay, well, can we put your name here?
Mhm.
And are you willing to publicly support the ET Embassy project under the alliance? And then we can declare numbers because of that. But there are a gazillion organizations out there that are doing the work. They
yeah,
just don't know who we are,
Mhm.
and we don't know of them. Or for in some cases, there's some we've had contact, but they for different reasons they decided not to publicly support, and that's okay too.
yeah,
Mhm.
That's perfectly fine because we're just okay. We can't count them in the numbers of supporting for their own reason, but they're still doing good work.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's okay. We don't need everybody under the tent.
Mhm.
Just need the people that want to be there, and I think that's part of the point.
Mhm.
It
Well, and
can't
those
be
people may
forced.
come. They may come around too, because maybe it's just not their time to be
Right.
Yeah.
working. And we know these things subconsciously sometimes, and sometimes things
Hmm.
come around, right?
Mhm.
Come around. So there's no ego here where we want everybody under the tent. And there's other organizations out there that are also doing coalitions
Yeah,
Mhm.
for preparedness and different kinds, and that's good. Like it's
it's all good.
the new world is not about ego and about like your brand above everybody else. The new world is about the actual change on the ground and seeing that through and people feeling free to actuate
Yep.
in and express themselves in their genetic code in the way they feel is best. And that may mean being on their own, doing their own thing, and maybe joining groups and collaborating, and may mean all sorts of things.
Hmm.
Uh, and and that's how you have to see things. So for the audience, feel free, contact us, don't contact us, do more things on your own without telling us, tell us about it, um,
Yeah,
whatever, right? You may want to check out the people in the in our network. Maybe you're interested in doing some stuff with them, not with the alliance directly.
Right.
That's fine too, right? Be
we're all
yourself.
working towards the same cause.
Mhm.
So, right?
That's it. So that's the
So,
message I think for you all. Like we're all in this together. We're all one.
yeah,
Be
Mhm.
yourself. Do your own part your own way.
Perfect.
start with
Perfect.
yourself. Start inside,
Yeah.
right?
Perfect.
And now I
Thank
can move
you.
up. And now
Now you can beam up. Okay, let them know.
since we're finishing.
They're like,
All
no,
right,
we missed the
okay,
meeting.
take
It's
me now.
fine. They're done.
Thank you both. This has been great. It's been a lot of fun too. And I just want to say thank you to both for being here and presenting this and getting awareness out because that's one of the key things here. So people can start making this normal talks, normal talks.
Yeah.
So, to the audience, thank you for being here. Please remember share, share, share. Share means you love me, and I know you love me. Of course you do, because I love you. Bye. See you later.